Take me out to California. Take me out to California.
Hi everyone, over on Instagram, Holly Matthews 84, I did a live where I talked about, is this positive mindset stuff just a load of old rubbish? So let's address that now. Often when I'm talking on videos and lives and things like this, I will get a few people that will come to me and say, oh, that positive mindset stuff, it's a load of old rubbish. I read The Secret and I didn't get the brand new car that I wanted and it's just a load of old rubbish. Now these people that come to me and say this stuff or comment on videos and that kind of thing, generally speaking, those people could do with a positive mindset injection for sure. But just to clarify, sometimes it's that people get mixed up in what you mean when you're talking about being positive and living a positive life. So my brand of positivity and positive living and what that means to me is that it doesn't mean that you are void of emotion. It does not mean that you are happy, constantly like walking around like some crazy like robot. That's not what it means. It still means that you have all emotions and sadness and anger and frustration and all the normal things that make up the rich tapestry of being a human being. You have all of those things. It just means that you aim to have more positive things in your life than negative. It means that you teach yourself to bounce back, that when you have a really tough situation, you don't sit in victim mode feeling sorry for yourself, that you look at it and you go, okay, that's rubbish, and you cry and you get angry and you do all of the normal human stuff, but then you go, okay, but it's my reality, and you face it head on. And you look the tiger in the eye and you go, okay, what's next? What do I do? How do I deal with this? How do I still have a happy life and a good life and a fulfilling life, even when things have gone wrong? Okay, now that to me is positive living. Now for those of you that are just watching this channel, I am going to briefly run down the very bare bones of some stuff that went on in my life over the last 6 or 7 years. First of all, I got pregnant with my first daughter, Brooke. She was 6 weeks early and I had preeclampsia, so I spent time in hospital. She was then in special care for some time. Thankfully, she was just tiny and she didn't have any repercussions of being born early. At 3 months old though, she got meningitis and we were back in hospital again. At my second daughter, I was pregnant. I found out that I have autoimmune disease, antiphospholipid syndrome, APS, or Hughes syndrome, I think it gets called as well, which essentially means I have sticky blood. So when I'm pregnant, it can give me blood clots and heightened risk of stroke and heart attack and miserable stuff that I've definitely not been Googling. I did when I first found out I had it, and then it was a miserable time and I stopped doing it because I was basically dead meat. So I have that, which meant that I had to inject heparin, a blood thinning the injection into my pregnant stomach every single day throughout pregnancy. And then she was still born early. When Texas, my second daughter, was a year old, we found out that my husband had brain cancer, grade 4, the worst. And then we went on the brain cancer journey where it was radiotherapy, chemotherapy, hospital appointments, brain surgeries, and all that that entails. Our lives were flipped upside down. And then in July last year, Ross died, my husband died, and I spent time in a hospice. I had to deal with my own grief, my daughter's grief, telling them he was going to die, telling them that he had died, the funeral, the aftermath, and still going through that, still working out what our lives are without Ross and working out who we are. A lot of stuff has gone on, and that's just the bare bones of it, of course. And I don't for 1 second feel sorry for myself, even though that I would be perfectly valid too, and I'm not judging anybody who does feel sorry for themselves when they've been through tough stuff. The reason I'm telling you that stuff is to go, I'm not sat here chatting to you from a place of absolute ease, because it's been difficult and at times really quite traumatic over the last few years particularly. It has, you know, last year was the hardest year of my life, undoubtedly. But in amongst all of the tough stuff, good stuff happened. And that's hard for people to understand when they have a negative mindset. But I've trained my brain for a long time now to find the good surrounding the bad stuff. So it's not saying, okay, Ross died, so that's a good thing somehow. No, that still feels a bad thing. That feels rubbish. And I didn't want that to happen, and I wish it hadn't happened. But it has happened. So then I have to look at my life and go, okay, so where's the good? Where's the good stuff? And there's loads of good stuff around it. And what you do when there's a painful thing is you find as much good stuff around the rubbish thing. And then the rubbish thing seems smaller because there's so much good things happening around it. And really that's the key, is to search for the good, because none of us are going to escape tough stuff. If you haven't been through tough stuff, you're either going through it now or you're about to. So that's it, that's living. We don't escape that stuff, we don't sail through life. Nobody sails through life. And if you think somebody is, you're wrong. You don't know what's going on in their heads. You don't know what challenges they face every day. And just because it's not big stuff, big obvious stuff where you can go, oh yeah, that's bad. You know, somebody can look at my life and go, oh, her husband died. That's sad, that's bad, that's a tick. But for another person, it could be that they have a relationship breakup and it ruins, you know, they're gutted and they're heartbroken, and it makes them hit rock bottom. It could be that they lose their job or they don't get that job and it makes them hit rock bottom. We don't know what other people are dealing with in their own heads and how they are able to cope. And really, positive living and positive mindset stuff has helped me to deal with all of the stuff that I've dealt with in the last however many years. Training my brain to bounce back is why I'm sat here being able to talk to you and not feeling sorry for myself and actually feeling really good. And that can be strange for people who have a negative mindset, because they look and they go, well, you must be faking it. I'm not faking it. Sometimes I cry. I cried this morning a little bit over a song that made me feel sad. I was frustrated this afternoon at my daughter for being naughty, and I got angry at her, and now I'm fine. And that's human nature, but it's about how you come back from those things. And you know, as my dad used to say when I was growing up, pick yourself up, dust yourself down and start all over again. But it always starts within your mind. It never the process of feeling good doesn't start with stuff. It doesn't start with other people making you feel good. It just doesn't. Those things are great, but ultimately you have to create happiness from inside you. And when you do that, even when stuff gets really challenging and really hard, you will be able to go, oh God, that's tough, but this is what I'm going to do next. And it's not about not being kind to yourself. It's not about stiff upper lip and not dealing with those things or crying or allowing yourself time, because I need that time all the time. Some days I'm not that good. Some days, you know, I haven't got my stuff together, and that's just being a human being. But it's about being kind to yourself enough to know that we're all on this journey, we're all learning. But positive mindset is everything. If you walk around with a negative mindset and you think the world is miserable, that's what you will see. That's all you will see. You know, if I had focused on all of the sad stuff, if I focused my attention on my loss, not the things that I have, then of course I would feel sad. And that's how it is. If that's what you're focusing your mind on, if you're focusing your mind on the things you don't want and the things that you think you should, you know, the sad stuff and the lack of, then you will see more lack of, and you will see more reasons to feel sad. That's just how it works. Our brains, that's how they process things. That's how they filter things out. So in order to feel good, you need to work from the inside in. And if I can help you with that, then I will. You can watch this channel, make sure to subscribe. You can also do my online positivity course, the Happy Me Project. I will put a link below this for you to grab that. Or you can come and meet me in person at one of my workshops. The next one is the 22nd of April. It's in the West Midlands in Coventry in England. Come and see me. Come and do a day trip if you're in England. It's a Sunday. It will be fun. We'll have a nice chat. Or you can work with me one-on-one, and we can do that anywhere in the world because I work on Skype. I don't work with many people one-on-one, so email me, chat to me, and it is obviously for people who want to invest in their mindset. So yeah, let's talk seriously if you want to do that. I would love to work with you. And yeah, that's it. Follow me on all my social media and I will chat about this stuff, and I will try and inject a little bit of positivity into your life if I can. But you got to stay open to it, and you got to go, yeah, okay, maybe some of these people that feel good even when it's hard, maybe they have actually got a point, and maybe they've learned something that I haven't quite learned yet, because we're all learning, and you can learn it. I believe that. So yeah, do it, and I'll speak to you all soon. Peace.
Take me out to California.